She's dead. Wrapped in plastic.
Welcome to the Twin Peaks Podcast.
Damn good coffee. And hot. Would everyone please take a seat?
Welcome everybody to the Twin Peaks Podcast. I'm Matt.
I'm Melanie.
I'm Brad.
I'm Caitlin.
And I'm Tammy.
Yay,
Tammy!
Hey, I finally made it on!
Yay! Yes. Tammy's our co-host on the CarnyCast. And today we're going to be reviewing the Laura Palmer Diary.
It's really the feel-good book.
Yeah. Yeah, I just read a comment on our Facebook group from Peter Dom. He says, I read this when I was 11 and I loved it.
Wow.
Also, the term skinny dipping will forever be associated with this book for me. Wow. Of course he loved it. He was a prepubescent boy.
I don't know. I don't know
Still.
if I would understand what's going on when I was 11.
I think you would, but it would scar you forever.
Yeah.
Even at my age, I don't know if it was appropriate for me to read this book.
Yeah.
Yes, so this book came out, I think, in the beginning of season 2, around there. So it doesn't really reveal the killer, but people claim that it points you in the direction, but did you guys find anything in there that pointed you towards Leland?
There's a few. There's the part, I think it's on Christmas, like she's clearly on the drugs by then, but she looks to Leland for a second, and it just looks him in the eyes, and I think he cries a tear.
Yeah.
And there's something like he wanted to, I can't remember exactly.
Do you want me to pull it up?
Yeah, let's pull it up, because I don't
know where it is.
Yeah, you'll never find it.
I've got notes.
But, yeah, this is supposed to be the same diary that Harold Smith has in the series. And in one of the episodes, Donna actually recounts one of the stories in here where they go skinny dipping with some 21 or 22-year-old guys when they're like 13.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
That is like the most unrealistic thing, like that there would be these 20-some-year-old guys that are willing to go skinny dipping with 13-year-olds, but that they will, observe boundaries, they will respect them.
Oh, I think it's possible. I think that's not unreasonable.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't?
Yeah, because these are desperate loser 20-year-old guys.
But if they're going that's wrong right there in the first place.
It is.
They're willing to compromise their morals that much. Yeah, I don't know.
But they're not compromising. I mean, they're young, innocent guys. They're clearly just very inexperienced.
Mm.
I think they were just excited to see boobies. That was pretty much it.
Yeah.
I might be with you if the girls were like 16, 17, 18, but they're children. They're children.
Yeah, but they don't know they're 13.
I guess.
Yeah, they know that they're young, though, definitely, but they don't realize they're that young.
Yeah, that's probably right. Mel has the thing.
I have the Christmas page up.
Awesome.
It says, I looked into Dad's eyes so that I wouldn't get too dizzy, and I saw his eyes light up, and a tear form, and then drop slowly down his cheek. The spinning slowed, and he grabbed me tight, held me as if he were afraid of something. Is that what you meant?
That's it, exactly.
Well, that's pretty much what he does with Maddie and Donna in the series before he's gonna kill someone.
Yeah.
At that point, you wouldn't have seen that episode, so I guess, I don't know. When you've seen that episode, you can tie it to that.
Yeah. So,
overall, what did you think? Were you, like, really surprised at the tone and how it's shifted from the series so much?
I guess I knew it was supposed to be dark, but I didn't realize how dark it was going to get. Mm-hmm. Especially, like, when she turns up pregnant at one point in the book. Mm-hmm. I was like, what? I just... You know, I figured she would have an abortion, which she did, but it really kind of threw me for a loop, and I don't know, the whole thing was just so dark.
Yes.
But I really enjoyed the book, so. Okay.
Yeah, you said that before. I was really very surprised. I'm like, wow.
I like very dark things. No,
okay. Yeah, the first time I read it, I was like, I couldn't believe what I was reading. I'm like, this can't be happening. This can't be real. This is not, like, associated with Twin Peaks.
Yeah, I don't think, like, I enjoyed it. Oh, it was just such a happy tale. I just felt like in the show, since we didn't really get to know Laura at all, getting to know her this way, it, like, almost makes me want to rewatch the series again.
Yeah.
After kind of reading this and seeing what stuff was going on with a lot of the different characters.
That's what I also really enjoyed about it as well, sort of getting to know the character of Laura. Mm-hmm. But reading the book sort of had 3 stages for me. In the first third I really enjoyed it. I'm like, oh, this is exciting. And then in the middle third, I was getting kind of shocked. I'm like, oh, this is getting pretty intense and really dark. I wasn't expecting, a lot of the, I don't know, how...
graphic.
How intensely, I don't know, yes, graphic it got. Anyways. And then in the last third, it just got all those ripped out pages. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That and when Bob starts writing in the diary.
Yeah. What'd you think of that, Brad?
Oh my God. Like, really, when that started, it's like this, it's awesome and it's so creepy and so effective. Mm-hmm. At the same time, it does start to, like, that... It being like one of the coolest things, I think, in the book, it's also one of the only real detractors I have.
Really?
Because there's times where she's like carrying this diary around and like writing about things in the middle of things while things are happening. Mm-hmm. And the reality of it starts to just come on the edge of fraying apart. But overall, like, the other thing is, they could have easily put out a diary that was far more subtle and less dark. Yeah. I mean, really, because it's sort of an unnecessary, marketing gimmick for the show. But they really did. They created something that's really interesting, and I appreciate it thoroughly.
Yeah, I was hoping we would get more feedback. We only got one from Claire, but I was hoping we would get more from people who read it at the time when the show was on. Like, I wanted to know how shocked people were by the subject matter and the graphic nature of it, like, compared to what they were watching on TV.
Well, I have heard of people that read it when it came out and they were teenagers or whatever, and people were just, like, enraptured by this book or whatever. They were just, like, because they were obsessed with the series.
Yeah, I just appreciate that they kept it like it was a real diary. So they didn't hold things back. She was writing what was going on. And the part where, like, someone had started reading her diary, so she hid it and she didn't write in it for a year. It's like, to me, that's almost true to life. Like, that's what would happen. You would stop writing in it because you would think people are reading it.
And the early parts of it, when she was like 12 or so, did you guys feel like it was writing that a 12-year-old would do, or was it too mature, like, just grammatically and such?
Oh, wow, I wasn't even really thinking about that part. No, grammatically.
The first few entries, I was like, I never wrote like this when I was 12. I was like, this, but I guess Laura is an A student, so I don't know.
Oh, Matt, you were so young and innocent.
She was obviously an advanced child to begin with, if she was thinking sexual thoughts at 12, and, she was obviously precocious.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's very emotionally mature as well, I think.
Yeah. And I guess with events like that happening in her life, she would have to grow up really fast.
Yeah.
To be able to deal with that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it does make sense. But I do see the first few pages as being like she's actually 12. She's got that excitement of a child, you know, like about her birthday and all that stuff. It's written in that way. Like when you look at it that way, I find it's convincing.
The book just throws you right into it pretty much because I think it's the second entry is the first mention of Bob. It's like she's writing all this, oh, it's my birthday, I'm happy, oh, I got a pony, it's so great, and all it's like, I love my family, blah, 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 P.S. I hope Bob doesn't come tonight.
Yikes.
Yes.
You know, the other thing is, if you'd gotten this book when it first came out and read it immediately, and you're still watching the show to find out who the killer is, I can only imagine how much more amped up and freaked out you would be at finding out it's Leland.
Yeah.
Oh,
man. Yeah, because you'd know all the details now.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. Ugh.
I know on your Facebook page, a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, there were a couple people that were not happy with, like, the dates. Like, it completely threw them off. Did it throw anybody else off? It didn't bother me that the dates were wrong.
I didn't even barely read the dates.
I'm not obsessed with the specifics.
No.
You know, I'm not like, oh my god, it has to follow a timeline.
Yeah. I took note of how old she was whenever she mentioned, and that's what I pictured in my mind, and I kind of could tell how close we were to getting to, you know, her death.
Like people,
because it's just what, offset by a year.
Something.
Yeah.
People treat it as if it's like something that actually happened, like a historical event or something.
I mainly just looked at the dates to see how much time had passed since the last posting.
Yeah.
Because you could really see sort of, you know, things were going well for a while, and then when they get really bad again, she might write more frequently or something.
Yeah, that is strange, though, since this is a reissue. If there was a clear mistake like that is strange that they wouldn't fix it, but...
I noticed there was a couple of spelling errors in there, too, but I don't know.
Well, everyone get out your whiteout.
That's right.
Yeah, really. That's the solution right there, yeah.
Ta-da!
Well, as much as everyone in Twin Peaks believes, Laura Palmer isn't perfect.
That's right.
She doesn't even know what day it is. what year it is.
She was doing too much coke. That could explain the date issue.
Oh my god, the amount of coke this girl did.
Oh, no.
Wow.
Hey, you would too.
I know. Oh, definitely.
Raped by your dad? Yeah.
And learning the motivations behind certain things, like getting jobs just for coke money and why she worked with Johnny. Very, very revealing. Yeah. Something I wouldn't have thought.
Yeah. Although some of the good things she did because she felt bad. She's trying to make up for the bad things.
Oh, most importantly, we finally learned who Bobby killed. I'm a little disappointed.
Are you disappointed?
I am. I had so much built into that.
Yeah.
The book was written by David Lynch's daughter, Jennifer Lynch, and at the time, I believe I read she was 22 when she wrote this. I think that's a pretty good job for a 22-year-old.
Did you notice in the introduction, when where is it? Wait.
The foreword?
Yeah. There's the new foreword by Mark Frost here. Mm-hmm. But we also have the David Lynch foreword, in which he calls his daughter by first and last name, which is it sounds weird to me. It's okay. Wait, it's like a Jennifer Lynch found the secret diary of Laura Palmer in the heart and mind of Laura herself. It's so formal. Mm-hmm. that he says Jennifer Lynch. I don't know, why doesn't he just say Jennifer? It weirds me out. And then reading this book when Bob's calling Laura Palmer always by first and last name, it just weirds me out.
You're seeing a similarity here, huh?
Oh, gee.
Well, only because I noticed that when I first started the book, and I made a note of it. And then I was like,
David Lynch is writing in Jennifer's diary. I've read his diary, Jennifer Lynch.
I was thinking more that when I read that I was trying to like kind of rationalize it in my mind why he would call her by her first and last name, and I was thinking maybe he wants to not be so personal, and because she's a professional in the industry as well, that he wanted to kind of separate
maybe
her from himself.
Sure.
That's what I thought, anyways. That's how I rationalized it. I wasn't thinking like, oh my god, David Lynch raped his daughter.
I didn't think David Lynch raped his daughter until later. But I just feel, I don't know. It struck me as odd.
I thought Laura Palmer, she lived every girl's dream. She got a real life pony.
I know.
I was so excited. And then she checked for its penis right away.
Yes.
Do people actually do that though? Seriously?
I don't know, and I don't know if it was necessary to go stand underneath the pony and look in for its penis. Like, you probably could just look at it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you needed to go underneath it to check it out.
Yeah. You know what? I'm really glad there was no bestiality in this book.
Yes.
There was one specific part where she's talking about her experience in the woods, where she's sitting on the chair, and there's like anything you can imagine except anything to do with farm animals.
Yeah.
Thank God.
And we all breathe a sigh of relief.
So she mentioned she walked in on her parents and having unenjoyable sex one time. And that just gave her the determination that she was going to have fun sex.
And she did indeed.
Mm-hmm.
It's exciting times. I'm sure that made Bob happy when he read that in diary. And we find out Ben's been interested in Laura her whole life. He bought her that pony.
Yeah.
Benjamin Horne bought Laura a pony.
It's like,
But not Audrey.
Not Audrey.
Yeah. No wonder Audrey didn't like her.
So I wonder where that dislike for Audrey comes along. Like, I wonder why, like, he always kind of treated her.
Yeah. I don't know. Was he just physically attracted to this girl since she was born?
Why is everyone sexualizing this 12-year-old?
I don't know. She just puts out this vibe. I don't know. Bob comes in her window and coats her in pheromones every night.
Sprinkles pheromone fairy dust.
Yeah. But yeah, she seems to have like normal sexual curiosity, but it's just confused by the abuse, and it just gets kind of, blown out of proportion for her, I think.
Yeah. Well, it's all, and there's so much guilt wrapped into everything too that it's.
She says she's afraid to upset Jesus a few times. Oh, I have something here. Page 19, penis quote. Let's. I don't remember what it is. Oh, here's a quote from the book. If anyone's never read it, this is how shocking it is. I wonder if all penises look the way Dad's does. I can still see Mom trying to cover it up with the sheet that night. It sort of reminded me of something raw. Something that might be okay in a while, or was okay a while ago, before someone pulled all of the skin off of it, and it got all pink and weird. Maybe I'll see a nice one someday. God, I hope I do. I won't lie there like Mom did. Just like a fish on the dock trying to learn how to breathe out of water. Little tiny huffs and puffs, but nothing else. If I can find the right man, maybe I'll be comfortable enough to act just the way I think girls should when they're with someone. Half in control and half, I don't know the word. Maybe I'm getting too nasty. I would just die if anyone saw what I've written. Yikes. And I think she was...
Sure does get carried away.
Yeah, and I think she was still 12 or 13 when she wrote that entry. Oh. Okay, let's see what else.
You're like awkward. This is gonna be really awkward to review this book.
Yeah.
And we all take a moment to reflect and be terrified.
Well, and I have like October 3rd, 1986. It was like when she went to the first party, and she found that girl that was was basically. It was like she was trying to show off, and the girl was just like, oh, if anyone can, I don't know the way they phrase it, but basically make her come.
Yeah.
Get her off. It was just like, what the hell? And then she did it. And for me, it was, once I read that, it was just, okay, so Laura's basically just trying to take control of her life. And with her, sex is the control. Mm-hmm. And that's where she totally, after that party, it was like all bets were off. Mm-hmm. Plus, she hangs out a lot with Leo.
Oh, Leo.
Oh, Leo.
That party, though, like, what the hell? Just the imagery of it, like, Bobby takes her to this party. They meet Leo. They get some sweet coca. And then all of a sudden, there's a girl laying in the corner lifting up her skirt. $100 if anybody can get me off. What the hell?
Ever been to a swingers party or an orgy, Brad?
I have not. But I love that Laura's just like, yeah, hey, I'm in.
Let me dive in there.
Splash.
Well, she had always wanted to try it before, so...
The shit they get up to in this town.
Yeah. These repressed people.
They really are. It's like, oh.
Yeah, there's apparently a whole group of weirdos who just congregate in the woods and play sex games.
You know what, though? That was pretty much her second sexual experience. Because she describes having sex with Bobby for the first time. And that was her first time having sex, that she said, like, besides her father. But, like, her second one, she just decides to go ahead and, like, friggin' get this random girl off. Randomly, out of nowhere.
You know, we talked a lot about, like, a season 3 if they started up right now. Can you imagine how much more filthy and disgusting Twin Peaks is now that the internet exists?
Yeah, just
or maybe it's better. Or maybe it's better because they have an outlet for it.
Just imagine season 3 on HBO. You're gonna get to see, like, a little of what that could be when you watch the movie. But oh yeah, she's happy when she finds her red button.
Yeah.
Her special red button. It helps her escape, but she's worried that it's wrong to feel that way.
Oh, by the way, she hooted like an owl in her sleep, guys.
Yeah.
Does that mean she's evil?
I don't know what that means. It just means the owls are weird in Twin Peaks. Do you have anything, Caitlin, you want to talk about? That scarred you or anything?
The whole book? Oh, okay. I think there was kind of a turning point in the book that was interesting, because for a while Laura's worried and was literally believing what Bob would say to her, that she was a bad girl and she really just wanted to be good. And I think, I can't remember at what point it was exactly, but at some point she just, she stopped caring about being good. And basically I think at that point is where we see, like, I don't know, the complete transformation of her character and no going back for her. And basically she pretty much, I would say, lost to her, I don't know, her darker side. And I don't know, it's very depressing.
Yeah, no matter what she does, she doesn't seem to be able to, like, she tries a few different ways to get rid of Bob, like being good, being bad, ignoring him, like nothing ever works.
I do really like, there's quite a few entries where she's basically like, all right, I'm going to beat him. This is it. This is the final stand. It's very interesting to see how, she's going with it all she can. And then next entry, all hell breaking loose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But remember in the show, even Leland said that she was fighting back Bob, that she was really strong and all that. And this book pretty much proves it too. She just kept fighting him with whatever she had.
Yeah, and anytime she would talk about that, it just made me so sad to, like, think of what she had to go through growing up.
And also the worst of it being that she doesn't even know what he wants.
Yeah.
And there's so much of that. Just, you know, you can't really fight him because she has no clue what that he's after.
Her soul.
That was scary.
Yeah, that's what he wanted. Kind of hard to describe that. Well, I want your soul. You're everything, basically.
So, near the end, when we have a bunch of pages ripped out, and we're only supposed to have sort of half a picture of what's going on there, it sort of mentions how she is kind of just thinking that she'd rather just die, and that she kind of welcomes it. But on the last page, you know, we still see that till the very end, you know, she's like, I did my very best, and she actually is afraid of death, but it's kind of like a tiny, tiny glimmer of hope for her, but she's dead, so that's...
Well, and she basically dies once she finds out who Bob is, you know, then he kills her, and she knew that was going to happen, and it was just like, oh, so sad, oh.
So do you think that's why she was killed at that point, because she found out exactly what he was?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so, too. I think he had to step it up. He's like, all right, I have to possess you now, or you're going to die. Because, yeah, she could tell people. Well, who would believe her, though? I don't know. my dad is this spiritual creature from another place.
What about that? There's that really creepy bit where it's like the girl whose cat she ran over.
Danielle.
Yeah, Danielle. And later on, it's like where she thinks that Bob has gone to her now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that happened, but yeah, that'd be a creepy.
But just if the idea was in your head.
Yeah, that'd make you feel pretty guilty and bad. Yeah. But that little girl she had it all together.
Yeah, she seemed pretty solid to me.
Yeah. She's like, I don't care that you ran over my cat. Just don't cry.
Well, that's kind of messed up, though, that you don't care that somebody...
Well, she cares, but she cares more for Laura feeling sad and guilty about it.
Yeah.
I liked when Josie came in the book and we realized she was the worst, even in the book.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know. That was shocking.
So many secrets of Josie revealed.
Yeah.
She felt bad for Harry Truman.
And Harry Truman gets his one and only mention. Thank you, goodbye.
She starts going over to Josie's in order to help her with her English, but Josie's not interested in that. She's just interested in coming on to Laura Palmer. And then,
but she said though that it wasn't like she was like all over her. She was just kind of trying to seduce her like subtly.
Yeah. So didn't Laura Palmer just like sex her into submission or something? Pretty
much, yeah. She showed her how to do stuff.
Yeah. She did the same thing with Blackie.
Yeah, they had like a sex off.
Blackie's off.
Didn't Blackie throw another punch?
But it's just like, oh yeah. Oh, I think I can do it better than you. Oh, yeah. Show me.
Anything you can do, I can do better. Or I can do anything better than you.
When I read that part, though, all I could hear in the background was masturbating bear music. You know, like masturbating bear from... Yeah.
Just these two girls grinding against each other?
Yeah, grinding against each other.
Jeez. I'm winning. No, I'm winning.
We're all winning. We're all losing.
Except the reader. Guys, she rapes Harold.
I know!
Oh.
Disturbed by that part.
And she felt bad, but she liked it.
Yes. For all these things she does, she feels sad to to hurt people, but then she likes the feeling of power that she has over people at the same time.
Poor Harold.
Bob tells her she smells a lot, and he tries to convince her that she's asking for everything that she gets. But
well, it's because he's playing on her insecurities.
Mm-hmm.
Because he knows everything because he's in her head.
Yes. So he's kind of in her head at the same time he's in Leland's body, I guess. I don't know. He can get in multiple people.
Well, I think he's got a foothold in her because clearly he's making her write in the diary.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, got control of her hand at least.
So do you guys think that Bob killed her cat when her cat got run over?
What do you mean? Leland got in a car and ran it over?
Yeah, ran the cat over to mess with her.
I remember that thought crossing my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought he was in the house when it happened.
Yeah, I think he was, but I did think at the time, I was like, oh, I bet Leland killed it. Like, they were going to say, like, Leland killed it coming home or something, but he did not.
Oh, yeah, we should mention how she basically ruined Bobby Briggs.
Yeah.
Yeah, really. Poor Bobby.
I mean, when he was younger, he was a poser tough guy, but deep down he was really, a sensitive person.
He loved her. He
Yeah.
loved her. It was so...
Yeah.
And I think, like, when he said that, she just even thought of him as, like, even weaker.
Yeah.
Well, and also some of it was her trying to protect herself, because she's saying at the time that, these are the things that she would want to hear and she'd like to hear, but she can't let herself be that emotionally vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So she has to, laugh at him and destroy him.
And make him sell drugs. Yes.
Oh.
And she was actually happy when she, like, found out or figured out kind of that Bobby and Shelley were together.
And she didn't care.
Yeah, she didn't care, but, I think she was, like, almost happy for him, like, yes, you guys belong together. Because she could see how Leo was to Shelley.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she was with Leo, so...
This brought up another problem for me, and because we get the first mention of Shelley and Leo being married, they've been married for a couple of years, which I'd always assumed during the show they had been married a very short period of time, and then she had just dropped out of high school. So how old was Shelley when she married Leo?
Yeah, I don't know.
She had to have been like 15 or something.
You don't even really know who her family is either, really.
Shelley, yeah.
She's kind of a mystery
Where
girl.
did she come from?
Yeah, you don't really know much about her. She must have came from a troubled family or something. It seems like she might have been like a street urchin or something. Or an orphan, and somebody like Norma took her under her wing or something.
Yeah, I was out there nicking hubcaps. And then I tried to steal one from old Leo Johnson's car. And he was going to beat me up. But then I took off my hat and he found out I was a girl, so he married me.
You never know.
I like how they presented Shelley in Laura's view, though, and how Shelley, was actually something that Laura kind of, aspired to be like a little bit. And it's kind of creepy that, she was thought of herself as competition for Shelley, but I think it adds a bit more to Shelley's character. She kind of has like a lot of dignity and she's a pretty good person.
What did you guys think of Donna's character in this book? She didn't do anything too horrible, did she? She was kind of a normal girl, I guess.
Yeah, I just kept picturing Laura Flynn Boyle's face. I was like, ugh.
It ruined everything for you.
I guess
you're a terrible friend.
I guess she just went downhill when Laura died. Then she turned into a crazy murderer.
Well, and again, like, here in the book, basically her and Donna aren't friends. By the time she dies, her and Donna aren't barely even talking.
Yeah.
And at the beginning of the series, Donna's the person who's like one of the people who are most upset over Laura's death. And so I was just like, well, I mean, they didn't talk. I mean, I know it was a childhood friend, but... Yeah,
I'm sure she wanted to, rekindle her relationship with Laura, and she thought it would happen. And then, Laura died, now it can't.
She was crying for selfish reasons. So long.
Damn it, Donna.
There must be a lot more time spent, I think, in the latter part of the book with Donna, because there's a whole development of the relationship with James Hurley that in the book was like less than a page.
Yeah. And they were both kind of seeing James Hurley on the side.
Which I feel the less James anywhere is always better, so I was fine with that.
Did you see that picture I posted of James Marshall on the Facebook group?
It took me forever to figure out who that was.
His hair. Oh god, his hair.
He looks basically the same, except older.
Well, he looks sick, because he is, but I'm just talking about his hair. Apparently that's his natural hair color, but...
Really?
What?
His haircut is ridiculous for someone his age. So yeah, those people in the forest, when she's blindfolded, those are actual people, right? They're not spirits playing sex games with her. When
Spirit sex games? Really, Matt?
I kind of wondered the same thing, but I think they're people.
Because Leo says something about, can you hear them? Or I can hear, sometimes they talk to me when I stand here. Like,
what?
Leo kind of talks about some sort of being able to hear voices in the woods or something.
I'm pretty sure those are people. I think he was just trying to get into her,
Okay.
mess with her.
When she listed out all the initials, the people she slept with, I'm like, she's only 15. She slept with more than 40 people already.
Yes. Did you try to figure out any of the initials, like who they stood for?
I did look to see if Ben Horn was in the mix.
Was it?
Not at that point.
Yeah, I could only get the first few, and then after that...
Yeah, I stopped after like 4.
And later she said she slept with her father's bosses, which is basically Ben Horn and Jerry, I'm assuming.
Maybe, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What about that weird moment where she goes and meets the log lady?
Yeah.
That was really interesting.
It was just showing that they both have a connection, but I don't know what she got out of that or what came of it that was significant.
It was such a moment of hope, and I was very sad that nothing came out of it, actually, because why didn't the log lady help more?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, a character on the side, kind of like Major Briggs, has a better idea than most people of what's going on, but is just an observer.
Mm-hmm.
I think the log lady's basically an oracle, which, she kind of gives Laura insight on her own life, basically, and that's all she did.
She also uses her sexiness to get out of that dangerous situation where she was kidnapped.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
It really was.
So, yeah, she was hitchhiking and she got kidnapped and taken to a motel, and again, she used her aura to make people do what she wanted, and
Put them to sleep.
don't rape and kill me. Just watch me dance for a bit while I
Seduce you to sleep.
seduce you to sleep.
But then she finds herself a little bit later, kind of fantasizing about that, and, you know, she always thinks back about different experiences and just sexualizes them like crazy.
Yeah, she makes them more dangerous and more sexy than they actually were in her mind when she looks back at things.
Her mind is basically like a porno movie.
What I see there, though, is her need for control. Like, she thinks that she could have handled the situation a bit better, and any time that she can, like, improve. It's almost like an obsessive-compulsive disorder, but perhaps, it's because of Bob that it sort of developed in the direction of, like, sex, but I think had Bob not come along, she could have very well been a leader in the United States of America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a few visuals that are disturbing if you imagine them. Just like when she's trying to get sober and she can't do it, and then I think she takes some drugs for the first time in a while, and then she sees Bob in her window laughing at her, and crouching in corners laughing at her.
Oh, there's the one really weird moment where he's like behind her door, and then he comes and grabs her.
Does he?
I think so. Yeah.
Where she comes home late.
Yeah, and she's like really drugged up. Oh.
What I found really disturbing was the first time where she really opened up about Bob in her diary. And then she was just talking in details, and she started talking about the sticky and all that stuff.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that was really disturbing.
She likes to make me hold the sticky. And all that stuff.
Lick it off her hands.
Yeah.
So graphic. Yeah, near the end she just starts meeting like all these characters that she has a relationship with, and they're like given like one page of dialogue, like, oh, I met this doctor named Jacoby, and oh, James, blah blah blah, and Josie and Blackie. They all just get like one page to them or whatever. It kind of rushes at the end a little bit.
Also, when she invents Meals on Wheels.
Yeah.
Isn't that been a long-established program before Laura Palmer came along?
Yeah.
I don't think she invented the phrase Meals on Wheels, though she takes credit for it.
Yeah. I came up with that just right now.
Oh, here it is. I told her the name of the program could be Meals on Wheels.
I thought I was hilarious. We had a good laugh because I was so clever.
I was clearly the most clever girl in the entire city, and then I got another award.
I don't know.
Do you think it was weird that she thought her mom was jealous of her?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, I just thought that was so odd. And then it made me think, like, did her mom kind of, in a way, know what was going on?
That's what I was wondering, yeah. Because
so.
she even wonders at one point if her parents are even aware of what's going on in her life. Like, of what kind of abuse she's getting. Or if they actually know and they're just not telling her.
Yeah. I think in watching the series, I always felt like that her mother knew something was going on. So, I think... And there's just, the mother-daughter relationship in this is so interestingly frayed and strayed.
Yeah, she has basically one good day with her mother her whole life. One day where she's homesick or something. And they chat on her bed and stuff. She mentions a few times that they sometimes have the same feeling or the dreams or whatever, like a psychic link. But yeah, beyond that, she doesn't seem too close with her.
We didn't talk about Maddie yet, did we?
Well, there isn't too much.
She does have that psychic link too, though, throughout the book, where she says she would like to talk to Maddie, and then I guess Maddie called for her. And stuff like that, and they share at first that Maddie had been having those dreams about Laura going in the woods and all that stuff.
Maddie gets her into cigarettes, the gateway.
The gateway drug. Stale cigarettes, the gateway drug.
Well, I don't have anything else really. We all done? Did anyone write any quotes down?
I did.
Yeah, I wrote a couple. I definitely couldn't find any that were funny.
I did.
Maybe funny in a sort of sick and twisted way.
Yeah, I guess.
I found one that was funny. That's it. Yeah. Somebody go ahead. Let's do some quotes.
I'll go first because it was related to what we were just talking about. This is obviously from Laura. I think I'll buy a pack of cigarettes someday and just keep them like Maddie does. I'm not going to get hooked up or anything. I'm too careful.
Yes.
Yes, you're too careful, Laura.
Like I say, gateway.
Yeah.
Gateway drug. You got one, Tammy?
Yeah, I have one from after her session with Josie. P.S. It makes me sick how every time I do something good, I always end up, pardon the pun, getting fucked.
Yeah.
Wah wah. So sad.
Caitlin?
Well, I've got a quote. I've got a quote from Bob.
Okay. Do Bob's voice.
I don't do a good Bob. I don't do a good Bob voice, but I'll do it in Morgan Freeman voice.
Okay.
You said so yourself. I see you got yourself fucked last night. An owl told me.
You got yourself fucked.
Do you have one, Caitlin?
I'm gonna go for a bit of a lighthearted quote.
Okay.
It's when they were at the book house. They thought we were older because one of us was smoking, so Josh came up with Tim and the other guy. They said that they were from Canada. There was no doubt about it because they couldn't stop saying A.
That is a terrible stereotype.
Such a stereotype.
I know, eh? Come on.
Okay, well, this is the only genuinely funny line that I found. If she tells anyone I hooted, I'll just die.
I have a few. We forgot to mention that Laura has a fascination with Douglas firs just as much as Cooper does.
Mm.
She talks about Douglas firs at one point in her book.
Yeah.
Should I say a really creepy one?
Sure.
In this seed is death indeed. Gross.
That's me talking
So
about...
Bob has an STD.
Probably. Also, I like the quote, "Fuck you, Bob."
Yeah.
Yeah, but then he probably said something creepy like, yes, please.
Yeah.
So I found this really hard to rate. I'm glad I read it, so I know more of the plight of Laura Palmer, so I can feel more, attached to the character and feel more for her when I watch the prequel movie, but I don't know if I enjoyed it. Did you guys write a rating?
I didn't, but I can.
Yeah, kind of, sort of. Because, I didn't enjoy it. I thought it was just really interesting, and I don't know. I liked it as... I think, when I watch the Fire Walk with Me, I think I'm going to enjoy it more because I've read this.
Definitely.
So...
Yep.
Okay.
And I think that's cool, so...
So if you could give it a number, what would it...
I would give it pretty high. I'd give it 9 out of 10 midnight threesomes in the lake at 13. Oh.
As a Twin Peaks experience, I'd give it a 9. As a book that's fun to read, I'd give it a 7 out of 10 little red buttons. Yeah.
I think I'd say overall it was much more than I was expecting it to be, and I think they really accomplished something really interesting. So I think I would have to go 9 out of 10.
Okay, cool.
Out of 10 Bob completions. Wait, let me rephrase that. 9 out of 10 Bob additions.
Oh, okay. I consider it supplementary, so I'm going to give this actually a different rating. I'm going to rate this out of 5.
Okay.
Just because I find it, very difficult. I can't compare it to the episodes, but it adds a lot to Twin Peaks. So I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 poor, neglected ponies.
Oh,
yeah.
Poor Troy.
That poor Troy, yeah. The poor pony. She lets her pony go, thinking it's going to be a good thing to set it free, and then they find it starving with broken leg on the train tracks.
Well, later, even when she did realize that she shouldn't have set it free, she didn't do a thing.
And it just made her feel all the worse because Ben Horde called her, and he's like, "Oh, we'll get whoever the horrible person did this."
Way to go, Ben Horn.
Did you give it a rating? No?
I think I'm gonna go in the mid ground and say because some people rated it really high and some people rated it kind of lower. So 8 maybe.
Okay.
8 out of 10 I don't know, Coke bullets? I don't know.
Coke bullets.
There's a lot of those. There's more than 10.
Yeah.
How about I give it like 80 out of 100?
Alright, so for feedback, we only got one. I'm really curious as to how many people read this book. I hope it sells well, because I do want the Cooper book to be reissued as well. Because that's hard to find. We had to find it on, eBay?
Yeah, I bought it on eBay.
And it was pretty expensive. It was like 30-some bucks for this,
just a little paperback book.
Beaten up paperback book, yeah. Brad, do you mind reading Claire's email?
Sure.
Hello, Peaky... Hello, Peaky Peeps. I did it. Long time no feedback. I haven't actually had a chance to reread this book before you guys recorded. We'll just take 2 hours and read it.
Yeah.
But here are the randomest of random thoughts related to it. 1. Isn't there a part in which Bob is writing in the book and he and Laura are having a conversation? Yes, that's quite a bit of the book. And that's awesome. I can't remember why and how that happens. Is she possessed by Bob? Doesn't Bob write in all caps? Maybe that's why his name is written like that.
Oh, maybe.
He's got all caps key stuck.
Yeah.
What kind of writing implement would Bob use? I like to imagine that it would be a red crayon or a green biro. Apparently the second one is the writing implement of choice by most psychopaths, according to some documentary I saw when I was... Claire, you're just writing a lot of assumptions and things you think you've read and things you've seen.
Yeah.
What the hell is a green biro or bureau?
I don't know. It's a thing Claire thinks she heard about in a movie theater. Okay. I'm sorry, I didn't know if anyone had any compliments on any thoughts on what you think Bob would write with.
Oh, he was writing through Laura, but if it was Bob by himself in the woods writing, I don't know.
I think it would be like a piece of burnt wood.
I think it would probably be like...
engine oil.
A fountain pen using
it'd be any
dipped in engine oil.
any animal droppings he could find.
Finger painting.
Yeah.
The blood of the innocent.
His own feces.
His sticky.
No! It's invisible ink.
Okay, enough of that.
I love the details of the pages having been ripped out. Very creepy. Also saves you time on writing pages.
Yeah.
Or if you need to leave things super vague because you have a TV show coming out. Out of the 2 Twin Peaks tie-in books, I would probably say this one is the stronger book, but that I prefer to read the Dale Cooper one. This is not only because of my preference for his character, but also because it is a much lighter read and captures the humor of the show. Also, a lot of what is covered in Laura Palmer's diary is left up to imagination in Fire Walk with Me, and I wonder if that's the way it should be. Number 4. That said, I think Jennifer Lynch does a good job at capturing the tone of the series and the voice of Laura, though sometimes I find the writing style is a little unbelievable for such a young girl.
Aha, she agrees with me on the grammar thing.
Some children are very literate.
I was one.
I think I was one too.
Yeah.
You were stupid, man.
No.
I still have all my notebooks for a very long time, and
I don't know,
quality stuff.
I just think when kids were littler, like, they... more littler isn't a word.
There you go. Stupidity.
Kids were more little. They usually tend to write in short, blunt statements, like almost point form.
But she was 12.
I guess.
We also have a terrible education system.
Do we?
In this province. Yes, we do.
Okay. All right, continue, Brad.
I mean, I was fully obsessed with Shakespeare by the time I was in the 5th grade.
Could you write like him?
I know I didn't write in Shakespearean verse.
But who can?
But I did have... Yeah, but...
That'd be hilarious if you did. Your teachers would just throw it back at you. This isn't English.
No, but I did obsessively, I would, write down, long passages and memorize them.
Nice.
I give it a... Okay, and this is back to this... Is that all? Oh. I give it a 6.5 missing pages of implied horror out of 10. Laters. Claire.
Thanks, Claire. Came through. All right, so I guess that's good. Next time we'll be reviewing the prequel movie, Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me. You guys want to do that maybe 2 weeks from now, or?
Sure.
do you have the movie already, or do you need to get it?
I have it.
Have you procured it in some manner?
Way to try to improve your English there, Matt.
No, I'm trying to be vague. In case they were pirates.
Procure.
I purchased it on DVD.
Okay.
I still need to procure it.
Okay. So, do you think 2 weeks is long enough?
Yeah, totally.
Okay. You gonna watch it too, Tammy?
Oh yeah, I've already procured mine.
Okay. And you're gonna give us some feedback?
Yeah.
Sweet. Don't be afraid to record a voicemail if you want.
All I thought when you put my voicemail up after Brad and Caitlin's, I was thinking, everyone's listening going, who the hell is this person?
You should have voicemailed in beforehand.
Apparently so.
Yeah. Oh well. Alright, so I guess that's it for now. Okay, thanks everyone for listening. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. It's all...
We gotta do
Bye.
Bye. So
Bye,
depressed.
everyone.
Bye.
Farewell. I miss you.
Just a bunch of awkward goodbyes after reading the book.
Well, it is kind of awkward, especially to discuss it. Could you imagine doing this in a book club?
That's what we just did.
Yeah, basically.
With like an old timey book club with like little old ladies in tracksuits.
Oh, Lord.
I don't like the part where she does all the cocaine and blows for people.
All I can picture is these little old ladies with like little flowery hats and sipping tea.
I like the part where the giant rat bites her foot off.
Oh my god, it's so creepy.
You know her father raped a rat.
I didn't get that from the book. Was that implied?
Oh, can you imagine them reading passages out loud to each other?
Oh, now I'm looking for passages.
Let's all look for a passage and read it like an old lady at a book club.
What'd you think about her poetry? Wow.
Did you guys like her poetry?
No, I liked when she just wrote.
I'm not a huge fan of poetry in the first place.
Yeah, there was a couple that were kind of creepy, but other than that...
Yeah, when I came across the first one, I was like, whoa. This is getting a little tense. Laura writes poems as well, man.
We're still reviewing the book.
We can add this
Maybe
in.
I should cut out the first bye.
You can
Or just keep it in there.
Yeah.
Just keep it enough.
So we buy, and then this show's selling halfway over.
Steve stops listening at the back.
Let's see that. Let's read this like an old lady.
I don't know if there's anything good from Bob in there. Sometimes he's just kind of like playing like tag with her, kind of.
Ooh, who wants to be
like verbal tag?
Who wants to be Laura Palmer and I'll be Bob, and we can just like we can just read a part of this book.
Oh,
What's
please
an
do.
offer?
Who wants to be Laura Palmer?
I'll do it.
Okay,
You so disappointed
right in
in
front of
someone else to do it.
start there.
Why do other girls get to have happy lives? Why can't I just tell him the truth?
You don't know the truth.
Oh, you're here.
Smart girl.
What do you want?
Just checking in.
Fine, I'm here. You checked in. Now go.
I saw your light on 6 nights in a row.
So did anyone who walked down the street.
Lord Palmer, be nice.
You never taught me that.
Nice. Definition. Don't be rude.
Okay, we gotta stop.
Awesome.
Terrible.
Alright, let me be an old lady. I finally made it back to that chair. Next began the hardest part of the whole piece. A very rowdy, raunchy sit and spin routine, during which all of them leaned forward and looked closely at me as I played. I continued this and elaborated on it. Extended it. I did all I could think of to get them physically and emotionally intoxicated.
I can't breathe.
Glad you'll be the best old lady one day.
That's just too good.
All right. Yeah. We gotta go skating now.
Skating with your niece.
Happy-
Yay!
Happy thoughts.
Oh lord.
Don't fall.
I'm just gonna be skating on the ice with tears freezing on my cheeks. Alright, you guys have a good day.
You too.
Okay, bye.
Alright, bye.
Thanks for listening. Check us out on twitter.com/TwinPeaksCast. Search for the Twin Peaks Podcast group on Facebook. And visit us on twinpeakspodcast.blogspot.com. Email your feedback to twinpeakspodcast@gmail.com.
Here's a tune for you guys. Okay. Don't do anything I wouldn't do.